This is the landing page, the login page for our Visibility Operations Center, otherwise known as the VOC. This is the login that a shipper or a broker, a Project 44 customer, would use to log in to see their shipments. So upon logging in, the user is greeted with a view of all of their active shipments today. Now, what we're looking at today in this demo is simulated data, but when an actual Project 44 customer would sign in, they would be able to see all of their actual shipments being moved today. This view is configurable, so you can change these cards to show various information depending on what's important to you. One of our most common things, of course, when we're trying to plan supply chains is running late, right? As a shipper or a broker, I want to see the shipments that are being moved that are late. So if I click this card, I'm given the underlying shipment information related to these shipments that are running late. So if I scroll down here, we can see an example of this shipment. When I click into the actual shipment details, this is again a simulated shipment. This is not real, but in this simulation, this is being moved by US Express. And there's some information here that I'm immediately shown. I'm shown that the carrier is at stop right now. It looks like they're in Richton Park, which is one of the stops that was provided as part of the shipment details. I can also see some information around the arrival. It looks like they arrived 3 hours and 30 minutes late. And I also have some details around the dwell. It looks like they've been dwelling for 3 hours and 45 minutes. On the right here, you see the carrier that is moving this shipment, US Express, and some other carrier information that is in our system. As I scroll down, I'm able to see the breadcrumb trail of events related to this shipment. So all the way back when the actual shipment was dispatched, through being picked up by the carrier, and including the location at which it was picked up, all of the in-transit events that have occurred during the shipment, and then currently the stop that it is at. If I expand this view here as well, you can see that there's actually a few more stops along this shipment's route before the shipment is considered completely delivered and completed. Now, as TJ mentioned earlier, as we scroll down here, there's dots on a map. This is, again, what shippers or 3PLs are looking at. This shows the exact location of the freight right now and where it is. And you can zoom out or zoom in. As we scroll up here as well, and we go back to our normal page, that running late is one of our more common features to help manage exceptions. Another very common view that customers like to look at is heading to delivery. Carriers that are in transit to their final destination but have not yet arrived. So if I click into heading to delivery, again, I'm shown all of the shipments that fit this criteria. This criteria is configurable on the left, and it looks like the two things that we have here are in transit to delivery and idle in transit to delivery. So these are shipments that are almost delivered and they're headed to the delivery. So as I scroll down, here's another example of a US Express shipment. If I click in, it looks like it's in transit. It's traveled 180 miles. It's got about 45 left to go. As I alluded to earlier, one of the most important pieces of information that we provide is this ETA. And this is our proprietary ETA that we're calculating on the Project 44 side. We're estimating right now that this shipment will be at its destination within an hour and 20 minutes, and it'll be early. If we scroll down again, you can see the information related to the shipment, when it was dispatched, when it was actually picked up, all of the in-transit events, and where it is currently and where it is expected to be. Again, if we zoom in, you can see information related to the stops of where the shipment is, and then ultimately the flag is the destination of where the shipment will be delivered. Another interesting feature on the Project 44 platform is that we actually allow shippers or brokers to provide shipment level details. So if you can see here, there's the actual contents of what's in the truck to be delivered down to the PO number. All this information in an actual real world scenario where this would be a real shipment for a real customer, that customer would provide us all of the information to the shipment. So they would tell us the origin of the shipment, the destination, and all the stops in between. All of this data on the timeline here is provided by the customer. Ultimately, what the customer is asking for is for the ability for the carrier to provide automated status updates. This carrier, US Express, is actually live on the Project 44 network. And because they have done so and they've been configured correctly, all of these in-transit events happen without US Express lifting a finger. And that's ultimately what we're trying to do with all of the carriers that move freight for our customers.